Alrighty, good morning to you, everybody. Mark Sudduth, Hurricane Track here, Wilmington,
How's it
North
going,
Carolina,
guys?
where I am. CJ Morgan down in Florida, and this is
Yep.
talking weather for Friday now, January the 2nd, 2026. How's it going today for you, CJ?
It's going. It's a little chilly still, but we're gonna have a nice warm up today into the low 70s. So,
It's coming. Yeah, that's one of
yeah.
our topics is this big warm up. I
Yep.
have the short sleeves on again because it's nice out. It's going to be in the low 60s here
Yep.
and headed towards a wet weekend. We'll talk about all of that and more, and even a little bit of severe weather potential to talk about. I'll let you handle that a little later on. And nothing
Absolutely.
too concerning, but some convective shenanigans to deal with in the coming days, right?
Yep. Exactly.
I should have done voice warm-ups. I'm like froggy today. It's
That's
weird.
how I feel
Not
too.
getting
It's all
sick,
good.
just I got up at like 9:06 just to
Ooh.
in full disclosure. I haven't been up since 7, so my voice is still a little crappy.
Yeah.
Kind of like the computer this morning was a little crappy.
Yeah.
And now I can't hear you for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
We have CJ the Mime, ladies and gentlemen. Today he's going to
That's
be,
odd.
we've lost communication with CJ.
Can you I'm showing that it's sending
There he
audio.
is. He's back.
Yeah, it never showed for me that it cut out, so I don't know what happened.
All right. The the
Shenanigans.
the butthole computers are ubiquitous today. Well, welcome everybody to Talking Weather. It's good to have you, where we chit chat about pretty much all things related to the weather. That's why it's called Talking Weather. And on the lineup today, big warm up coming. Absolutely. And
Mm-hmm.
poor Greensboro. I'll show you what I mean by that. I saw this from Tim Buckley, I think it was, meteorologist up there. We're talking Greensboro, North Carolina. Poor Greensboro. I'll show you. You'll understand. Some severe weather potential. We'll mostly let CJ talk about that when we get to that tab. And it is Follow Friday, and I got a good one for today that I think you guys will like, that I will be paying close attention to. And I forgot yesterday to do Throwback Thursday, but since we
Hmm.
did cover some top weather events of 2025, it
Right.
counts. Usually I want Throwback Thursday to be all about our project, but it's
Right.
okay. We'll do that this coming week, next Thursday. And now, CJ, since we're in 2026, I can include stuff from 2025. I don't like to do a Throwback Thursday of something we covered 2 months ago. It has to be
Right.
at least in the last calendar year, so that'll work.
Right.
And our friend Jen Naramore, I don't know where she's going, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't either today,
she's en
so.
route somewhere. She told me it takes her about 3.5 hours to get to her site for today. And I'm
Mhm.
like, hopefully that's on her way south to see you and not 3.5 hours to talk to us for 15 minutes. It's like not a good use of time. I appreciate it, but I'm hoping she's headed south and then we'll keep heading south to totally make it worth her while. But we'll be checking in with our Tornado Talk friend and colleague Jen
Awesome.
Naramore later on. All right, let's say hello to the chat today and see what we got. Weather Scott, good to have you. William, yeah, good to see you, buddy. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, bonus Mark, that's right. And
Yeah.
Vanda and Howard and Karen, great to see everybody. Don't forget, you have friends. Send the link to the show to your friends and say, hey, Bob, Shirley, Dan, Jack, Evan, whoever, you might want to tune into this, especially people that have nothing else to do right now. This is
Right.
supposed to be fun and informative and conversational. And I'm telling you, CJ, as we grow this, I'm looking forward to some of these cases where we'll pick somebody out of that chat and say, hey, would you like to come on and talk about the weather in your location for a little bit? Or maybe you got a
Absolutely.
story. And then we can send them a link to our Zoom and they can jump right on. That's
Exactly.
something I'm looking forward to. So it's good to see everybody. Thank you. All right. Uh, I like this segment. It's a favorite of mine, just for whatever reason. And it's the national high and low temperatures for the day before. That will be the first day of 2026. And you're going to start to see, if you've been watching this show, we've done it for a month now, sort of a pattern developing of some areas that just get stuck. Mount Washington as the national low yesterday. This is two in a row now. And Texas frequently gets the national high, and a lot of time it'll be in the same spot. I don't really understand that, CJ. That is kind of interesting to me. We're going to
Hmm.
see Hidalgo a lot. We've already seen it a lot. Mount
Yep.
Washington, two in a row. Like, why Mount Washington versus some little nook or cranny up there? I know they're
Right.
high up and whatever, but like,
It's
isn't it
altitude.
interesting that they seem to be the same places over and over
Hmm.
again?
Yeah, it definitely is. And you're going to notice that as time goes on, that our climate is quite predictable in certain ways, and this is one of them. Obviously you're going to have
Evidently.
the highest temperatures in the
Right.
winter are going to be in South Texas and South Florida. In the summer, it's going to be somewhere in the Mojave, um, in
Right.
the in usually Death Valley or Phoenix or
I
somewhere
can't
out
wait till
there.
we start doing this in the summer when we're talking like national
Right.
high 127 wherever. And
Yeah.
then your national low temperatures will hopefully be like 40s and 50s minimum.
Right.
Anyway, Hidalgo has been in the top spot for the national high for a while. And we've
Yep.
shown it a while on our little trip down into IRL in real life, so to speak, at least through the virtual world of Google. And so here's Hidalgo and their little municipal outline, or whatever you call it, city limits. So we'll get rid of this. We'll drag our Google Maps guy and just throw him somewhere down here, right there. See what happens? You never know what you're going to
Hmm.
get. Sometimes it's
Nope.
funny. So we're in some kind of an industrial park, light
Yep.
industrial, and this is Hidalgo, Texas. And honestly, folks, this is a good way to show you some places you might not have ever seen. And because we live in a brave new world, we can drive around Hidalgo, Texas, and run red lights without consequence.
Yeah,
About
exactly.
that. And no, seriously, um, it's too bad Google. Ah, man, has Google Street View ever been out during severe weather where you're going along and like over here, let's get Mr. Telestrator. There we go. And over here, there's a tornado forming. Woo! Like,
Right. That would
that
be
would be
just
amazing.
absolutely epic.
We
I'm
have to
sure if
find
there
that
was,
sometime.
somebody would have found it by now.
Wow, that's an interesting,
It is a good
uh,
question, though.
yeah, because I was thinking about the whole running the red lights thing and how many chasers have run red lights. But anyway,
Right.
and we get to see some interesting billboards that don't get always get blurred out. Um, I'm looking for the ones for Morgan and Morgan because that's the
Yeah.
largest. Yeah, you know what I'm. If you know, you know, right, CJ?
Yeah, unfortunately, you'll definitely see a bunch of those whenever the national highs come back to Florida.
There you go. So anyway, this is Hidalgo, Texas, where yesterday it was 84 degrees, and let's just run right through that red light. There we go. This is like Grand Theft Auto without all the, yeah, like the G version, rated G. All right. Speaking
Ugh.
of South Texas, this showed up in my algorithm. Thank you, algorithm. I appreciate it. Mitch, Vermonster Weather. I love that handle. That's cool. Mitch
That's
follows
funny.
me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Didn't know that. And Rio Grande City, Texas is forecast to be hotter the next couple of days in early January than I have ever observed. 85.6 at my location. So I'm assuming that's where he lives now. So let's click on the
Yeah.
graphic. So we, again, we should do some poly market bets and just totally game the system. We can bet
Wow.
now where the national high temperatures are going to start occurring, thanks to this
Hmm.
post that I saw here from Mitch. Look at this, 88 today in Rio Grande City,
90
Texas.
tomorrow.
90 tomorrow. Yes.
Wow.
86 on Monday. All of this part of the big warm up that is coming. All right, let's
Hmm.
just get rid of some of these tabs to free up some memory, maybe, whatever. Doesn't hurt. The national low temperature, just to remind you, minus 17. It was minus
Ugh.
16 the day before, so going
Yep.
down a little. Back up at Mount Washington, and we're going to exhaust uh, where to put the Google person. But, there's plenty of areas around here. We don't have to always stick to right at Mount Washington. We can Let's drop it right here near this trailhead. I bet that's going to be a beautiful shot. Absolutely didn't disappoint at all. So
Wow,
are
look
these
at
the
that.
White Mountains, CJ?
Yeah, I believe it's either the White or the Green Mountains of New
Oh yeah, yeah,
Hampshire.
white or green, right.
One of the two. Um, but it's in like I think it's the presidentials is what they're called, like the
Okay.
presidential peaks, because you
Makes
have
sense. Mount
Mount
Washington.
Washington,
Right.
Mount Adams, and like a
Duh.
bunch of other presidents' names. That's what they're
Right.
named for. Um, but yeah, it's a gorgeous part of the country. I've never had the pleasure of going. Again, definitely a bucket list trip for me at some point in my life. I want to go up there and hop the cog rail or drive my
Right.
car up the auto road. It's
Look at that. That's beautiful. Now look, I know I'm going to catch hell for this, but I don't care. It's true. We have to hope that Mr. President doesn't. Hell, I want to rename Mount Washington Mount Trump. And you
I
can't
don't
get
think that
angry
will
at me because
happen.
he's renaming a bunch of other stuff. Just saying, I think that would be the final straw with the meteorological community if he. So we'll just keep that quiet. Don't give him any ideas. So it is Mount Washington, named after the very first president. And let's leave it
Uh-huh.
that way so that it's, what is he, number 47 now, Mr. Trump?
45 and 47,
There
yeah.
you go. So anyway, so at least he wasn't president number 67, but that's a
Yeah,
story for last year. So Mount Washington is where, hey, you can have a little politics and humor. Come on.
right.
This is where the national low temperature was in this vicinity. That's what it looks like in the area. Not a lot of options for the putting the Google Maps person, but that's it. That's where we were for the national highs and lows. All right, um, dude. This, I'm going to just come off the screen share for a second and set this up. The algorithm can be horrifying and it can be absolutely like, I never knew that. And it works both ways. The
Interesting.
internet is at the same
Yeah, it
time a
is.
miracle and the worst thing that's ever happened to humankind. Literally
Exactly.
sharing the same space, even though Neil deGrasse Tyson would say the two objects can't share the same space. This situation, they absolutely do, and that is the algorithm. So, that being
Mhm.
said, check this out. This video showed up thanks to my algorithm and my love of weather. Let's go full screen somehow. Somehow. I'm going to just refresh this. Again, my computer being a butthole today. Here we go, kids. There's the full screen.
What
This is
in the
real,
world?
not AI. You have no idea what's getting ready to happen.
Oh, I know exactly what he's gonna do.
Look at that.
Da,
Come
da, da,
on.
da, 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 da. Yep.
That is awesome. So screw
Yep.
the AI generated stuff. Humans win every time. That is absolutely fantastic. That's his Instagram right there. You see floating
He's
around.
definitely braver than I am because I would not go at an ice, go at the ice like that.
Well, obviously, this person knows what he's doing. And
Yeah,
hopefully,
exactly.
this is the same. You know how that's the bad side of social? Sometimes people take other people's content. So
Hmm.
hopefully, this is the person that did it, even though this is who
Right.
shared it. Whatever. Come on, that is really cool. Floating around there and catching some fish.
Hmm.
Oh, I didn't let the
Yeah,
video
ice
finish.
fishing. Looks like he's is that a kid's rod? Yeah, it was. Nice. It's a nice little, I don't even know what that is. This must be
All right,
somewhere in Europe.
I'm out. Too early in the morning for that. He's out there living his best life, whoever that is. And again,
Hmm.
hopefully that's the creator's Instagram right there. Pretty, pretty cool. Is this even an actual
Insane.
thing? Yes, it's real and possible. This is
Yeah, it
an
is.
ice carousel.
Hmm.
Grok's kind of been in the news in a negative way lately, so we'll just leave it at that. But yes, this is a real thing, not AI generated. All right,
Hey, at
so
least it's better than that AI that they taught to say Nazi
exactly.
stuff.
Oh man, it's
Oh,
really had a bad few days with the old Grok there and XAI.
oh.
Again, this world we're living in, and you gotta like that's the thing. With great power comes great responsibility. Peter Ben, Spider-Man, right? Uncle Ben, whatever his name was. It
Yeah,
wasn't Peter, it was just Uncle Ben, Peter
yeah, Uncle
Parker,
Ben. Hmm.
right? All right, so national weather scene of weather around the country. Sparse areas of weather shenanigans, and maybe that should just be
Mm-hmm.
the title of a segment.
Weather
Get our
shenanigans.
our telestrator going. Stagnant and foggy, stagnant and foggy, stagnant and foggy. You see where I'm going with this? Lots
Mm-hmm.
of that around in these little gray areas,
Yep.
and a few winter weather advisories scattered about the country. That is a storm warning right off the coast of northern Cal.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's not too darn bad out there. We're even starting to finally shrink the freezing spray
Yep.
advisories off of the lakes there. Still have some lake effect snows. Again, kind of missed out on that. But as I'm going to show you guys, the big warm up that's coming, the lakes are going to warm up again, so forth and so on. We have a lot of winter to go.
Yes,
Syracuse,
we
let's just
do.
jump in up here. They are under a lake effect snow warning. I don't know what their totals are now, like well over 180 inches so far this year, or 80 inches so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
180, wow. They might get there. Um, with the way things are going, the warm up that's coming, we're gonna probably warm up those lakes a little bit more, whatever. Certainly not gonna freeze them over.
No.
And then we're gonna get set up for when we do have another huge push of Arctic air. We're gonna really add to Syracuse's record snow for this winter. But over the next few days, chilly up there. But even Syracuse is going to warm up in the coming days. Any part of the
Yep.
country you're interested in, CJ, that we can click on? I know you're in
Not
Florida.
today. I mean, it's really a quiet map.
Right.
Like you said,
Kind
the
of
biggest
blah.
story the last few days has been, rain out west and then the lake effect snow. I mean, other than that, random cutoff low there in the center of the country or whatever that
Right.
is, causing some winter weather advisories. And what is that? Nebraska, northern Kansas, and southern
Right.
South Dakota. I mean, it's really kind of been I mean, it's just been quiet.
So did the iguanas come back to life? Are we all good down in South Florida now?
I think so, but I think they're a little messed, a little, PO'd, and they may
Right.
they may take that protest somewhere else. I saw today on social media.
Funny. How about that? So down in Florida, Miami 73 today, Fort Lauderdale
Hmm.
72. So room temperature in
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah,
So enjoy
exactly.
it. 63 down in Miami right now. What is it here? That's not too far off the mark from Wilmington. Let me just slide over to my tab. So we're at 52 here in Wilmington. So,
Yeah, I'm sitting 200 miles as the crow flies roughly from Miami, and it's 65 here, 63 roughly, somewhere in there.
so national map doesn't look too bad and
Hmm.
probably going to stay that way for some time to come. But again, with the lake snows, saw this post here from Caitlin. Oh, I love the meteorology that sometimes just jumps right out at you. Signs of a
Hmm.
strengthening band to come. You can actually see the inflow from
Yep.
the north side. So
Yes, you
awesome.
can.
Nearshore areas winning out right now again as background winds are light. Should pick up a touch during the day and move farther inland, tagging the old New York weather. Again, CJ, finding these people that just post useful stuff. It's just one of the beauties of our social
It
media. I
is.
really
Yes, it
like it.
is.
So that's what a snow band looks like, folks, right there coming in just north of Syracuse here. And again, CJ, you've never been to the lakes themselves for a lake snow, right?
No, I have. I've been in Erie for them.
For Erie, okay.
Yeah, I've been in Erie and Cleveland 100%. You got to remember, I only grew up less than 100
Sure.
miles from Lake Erie. So
Any,
for us, I mean, we got lake effect snow. So,
how about between
yeah.
Syracuse and Watertown on
I've never
I-81?
been up to New York. I've never been to the Lake Ontario side.
Right.
I've only ever experienced Lake Erie lake effect, and that was usually with a northwest wind. So ours was always a little bit different in terms of the setup. They get so much more up there
Yeah.
because Lake Ontario is much more, the fetch
Yeah.
is much more oriented east
Yeah.
west.
Especially if we can get that
So yeah,
flow just right.
and
But
that's what
that's
you're
what it
seeing
looks
right
like. That's
there.
a really neat thing.
Hmm.
So really cool
It's like a fire
post there.
hose.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's just enough instability that you
Hmm.
get this,
Yeah,
and we talked about it recently. Sometimes the instability is enough that you get some thunder snow, but
exactly.
not today. All right. So one of my topics was poor Greensboro. Greensboro, North Carolina. That's part of the Piedmont Triad area,
Mhm.
and that's where my wife is from. And it's a wonderful part of North Carolina. Whatever. So, what's wrong with Greensboro? Well, I saw this from my friend Tim Buckley. We are currently on the longest stretch without a 4-inch snow day in Greensboro history.
Oh, wow.
2,579 days and counting.
Wow.
Pensacola, Florida has had more snow by far than
Wow.
Greensboro, North Carolina in however many
Hmm.
years that is. I can't do
Yeah.
that quick math, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So this guy says, you know something? There's a reason you're sharing that data. Please. And he's like, only because it's interesting. I like to read the comments. Sometimes it's like, what? Waiting on you, Tim. Hoping our next event is a
Wow.
2018. Somebody just forgot the T. A 2018 type banger. That would be nice. So forth and so on. But yeah, the 2,579 days. Sorry,
Wow.
Greensboro. So the last time it was this snowless was 1947
Wow.
for the 25,
Yeah.
23. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. But Greensboro, sorry, we'll see what we can do. All right, CJ, you're up. Let's talk about some severe weather a
All
little
right,
bit here,
yeah,
please.
let's talk some severe weather. So, as you guys saw the last couple of days, the rumors of storms, we started tracking that little cutoff, low cyclone, whatever that was over New Mexico that dumped all that snow and caused some blizzard conditions in the high mountains of far west Texas.
Right.
That's going to be coming eastward now. So today you have a setup for thunderstorms are likely. No severe weather threat to speak of, but the warm Gulf is going to start. It's going to ingest that moisture as the cyclone in the frontal system starts to move east. It's going to start really picking up and pulling that moisture in. Today we have a risk of thunderstorms generally across portions of coastal Louisiana, most of Mississippi, almost all of Alabama, and western Georgia, and then in the far western parts of the Panhandle. But tomorrow is going to be the day that we're going to be paying attention to. So tomorrow, there's actually two different setups, one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast. The West Coast, that's going to be from all of that stuff, coming in from
Yeah.
the atmospheric river events.
Yep. Another big
And
load out
tomorrow,
there.
we're going to be paying attention here in the Southeast, basically southern Alabama, southern Georgia, extreme, southern South Carolina, and most of northern Florida. This includes, Jacksonville,
Right.
Tallahassee, Albany, Georgia, all of
Right.
those areas. Um, we're going to be paying attention to see, we could see some spin up tornadoes tomorrow.
Yeah.
Got
2%,
about
not
2%
zero.
chance. No,
Right.
it's not zero. It's non-zero,
Right.
it's near zero, but it's not zero.
Right.
um, but we also have chance for wind and hail, high
Yeah,
wind and
here.
hail. But it looks like it's interesting. I read through briefly the day two outlook discussion, and it talks about a probability that a corridor of moderate buoyancy with CAPE of over 1,000 to 1,500 joules per kilogram should
Right.
extend from around the mouth of the Mississippi River towards the western Florida panhandle by midday. Low level flow, unfortunately, is going to be veered instead of backed. We're not going to get into
Right.
that. Just know that veering is bad when it comes to severe weather.
Right.
Backing is good, or
Trying to
depending
get
on
the
your,
right. If you are looking for tornadoes, you need the
you want
atmosphere
backed
to turn.
winds.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever
So
it
you need
takes
it to
to
be
get that
turning the
atmosphere
right
to
way.
turn. Yep.
Um, However, sufficient deep layer speed shear should exist. So you could have some supercells with mid-level rotation, while not a lot of
Right.
low-level rotation. You may get enough mid-level rotation, which could, produce some isolated hail and all of that. So what
Right.
does this mean for people up there? Just keep, be weather aware tomorrow. Just know that some of these storms could be stronger. Um, if this continues to uptrend at all, I'll have my eye on
Little
it.
slight. Yeah.
I'm not going up there tomorrow, but
Right.
there's a possibility, we could end up with a slight, but I doubt it.
Never
Um,
know. Even a small area. But
yeah,
look,
I
even in
mean,
California, folks, Central Valley to
mhm,
coastal northern California, Southwest Oregon, multiple shortwave impulses ejecting, coming off from that deep layer trough. And we're talking of the potential for transient rotating cells, which could pose low probability of a brief tornado Sub-severe hail, meaning it's not too, it's probably less than an inch, I think is what that
Right.
means, and locally gusty winds. So all of you storm fanatics out there in California, this is your
Hmm.
shot. Get up
Yep.
there and see what you can catch, but be careful out there. You don't want to get blown off one of those cliffs. You're talking 50 to 65 knots of low-level flow, translating to some maybe 50 or 60 knot winds even at the surface, especially in some of these storms. So yeah, that's tomorrow into Saturday, and then Sunday. Um, there's Sunday right there. Not too much in the way of thunderstorm activity, mainly confined to the West Coast. But we're, 60 days or less now away from really ramping up severe potential as return flow from the Gulf begins to increase. We'll have a lot of severe weather awareness weeks coming up in the first part of March. Even some, I think, do it at the latter part of February. So
Hmm.
time flies, and we're going to be headed back towards the
Yep.
convective season in earnest before you know it. Let me
Yes,
just
we
send a
are.
real quick text to Jen, see where she might be in her travels. And
So speaking of tomorrow, I do see a latest NATO cast, which is showing a 3% chance somewhere around like from Panama City over towards Destin and Fort Walton Beach, and then another little area just around the Tallahassee area. So for my
interesting.
panhandle chasers, love you guys. Ain't driving the 5 hours for that.
Just reading a couple of things here. So about 11 a.m. So we'll have to banter for a little bit and drag this out,
Good.
which we can definitely do. If people know me, Mark can talk.
Oh, I'll
Jen will be
find
at
some
her
stuff for
spot.
us to talk
Oh
about.
yeah. But we still have plenty of show to go. Don't worry. But I just wanted to make sure she was okay because driving is the most dangerous part of daily living. Trust me.
Hmm.
So Jen Naramore will be joining us at the top of the hour. So that's the severe stuff. We'll do checking in with Jen soon, I promise. So my follow Friday is related to some of this stuff that we talked about here, like from Caitlin, etc. And it
Hmm.
is this tweet or Twitter account right here, Great Lakes Ice Tracker. I encourage all of you who have interest in lake effect snows and related to give this a follow. It is the Great Lakes Ice Update, and this tracker has been online for a while and really, really neat. Daily Great Lakes ice cover updates. Maps are cool.
Interesting.
And here's a really cool one that shows, for example, Lake
Hmm.
Ontario is only at 3%, so way
Hmm.
below average. Lake Erie, most of the ice is way over here. We'll use yellow to make it pop on the
Yeah,
west side
makes
of the
sense.
lake. Yeah. The rest of your lakes, Huron, 18%, a little bit above average for ice cover and a little bit below for Superior, right about where it should be for Michigan. But what I'm most interested in my world is what happens with Ontario and Erie, Buffalo sitting about right in here, the Tug Hill region over here. And with the big warm up that's coming, CJ, I don't think we're going to see these totals. And of course, they're not. This is like uh,
Right.
a loaded statement, a rhetorical statement. It's not happening. And
Right.
these
And I
will
also
stay
don't think that
unfrozen.
you're going to see much change out of the bigger lakes, especially Superior and Ontario,
There's a
since they're the
reason.
deepest by
Right.
far. Lake Erie is usually the most susceptible. So I'll be really interested to see what that does. Once you get that ice cover over towards Toledo is usually always the first to form. It's the most shallow
Right.
part of the basin. So it'll be interesting to see what effect that has on Ohio as the day
Right.
goes along.
And with the warm up that's coming, the lakes are going to not get as frozen, obviously. It might
Yeah.
even increase their temperatures a little bit. And it's just a matter of time
Hmm.
that we will see another huge surge. And I bet you we get to January and February, our climatological peak for really big winter storms in the east, that you'll see us up there, us being the hurricane track crew, somebody. You don't have a
Right.
desire to go up there anymore, do you, for those big lake events, right?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
You don't have a desire to go into the lake snows anymore, right? Since you lived in
No.
PA and like been there, done that.
Yep, been there, done that, lived through it. I'm good.
That's why you're
I'll
in
watch it on
Florida.
Facebook.
Exactly. All right. So that's my follow Friday, my recommendation.
Awesome.
And let me see what's happening here. Da, 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 da. All right. Um, what else? Oh yeah, Frozen Erie is so back. I like that. What percent is needed to stop these effing snow squalls? Somebody doesn't like the
I
snow
feel
squalls
that.
right there. I'm right, you're
I
wrong.
feel that.
Bill Ridley 11, there's a lot of people that share that sentiment, I am sure. Um,
I sent you a couple of things to look at. One of them,
let's do it.
you had mentioned some thunder snow. I caught some. It's a repost, so I don't know why it didn't just link to the post, but whatever. First one is from the AccuWeather, from somebody up in Western Pennsylvania, Freeport, just outside of Pittsburgh, catching some thunder snow, um, which is really cool. I will admit that is one thing that I think takes everybody's fascination,
Oh yeah. Let's get this shared.
myself included.
Why did I mute this person? Oh, well, okay. I muted AccuWeather for a reason, but it's that's
Yeah,
fine.
no, there is a reason.
Yes. But here's the shot that you mentioned the thunder snow. Um, let's see. Let's wait for it. Da-da-da. Give credit out.
There it
There you
is.
go. From Freeport, Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
Casey Kreitzer via Storyful over on the AccuWeather. Pretty good
Yeah,
stuff
no,
there.
it's really
Thunder.
neat stuff.
So, thunder snow is obviously an interesting phenomenon. It's the same process, generally speaking, that you got
Hmm.
the static buildup. It's just
Yep,
gigantic static electricity
yep.
uh, through semi-convective processes, right?
Yep, and it usually happens in some of these more when you have more instability, right? You need
Right.
the greater instability to be able to lift those parcels of snow higher up into the atmosphere where it's basically just ice crystals anyway.
Yeah, and they're bumping into each
So,
other,
yep.
just like when you walk across the carpet and you build up
Hmm.
that static charge and you touch the doorknob. By the way, did you notice it was in Hank's video that he had, wasn't it in his video where he showed the close up of the lightning coming off of his finger?
Oh
I
yeah,
think it
the
was in,
St. Elmo's fire and stuff. Yeah.
well, no, it's just static electricity off of
Yeah,
his
yeah,
finger
yeah.
because it was so dry, like about this time last year.
Hmm.
I've seen other people do that, and I've even seen some slow-mo video of a real macro shot of your
Hmm.
finger and the step leaders that come off. Lightning is literally that when you shock
Hmm.
yourself, but on a grand scale, very easy to
Yeah, and it's
understand.
really weird. Like when you get these really cold temperatures up on the lakes. So
Yes.
Chicago's famous for this. Wisconsin, you see a lot of videos. If you actually go out onto the ice and you get blowing snow, and you experience the St. Elmo's fire effect as
Yeah.
well, I think. Where was
Yeah.
that in
It was in
Massachusetts?
Belmar, New Jersey.
Or that's it. So you can
Yep.
actually stand out there and put your fingers up and you'll see and you can hear
Yes.
it. If
It
it's
was coming
like if
off the
it's
lamps
yep.
in Belmar, and it's
Hmm.
this interesting little crackling sound.
Hmm.
That's exactly right. It's just because the dew
I have
point, the
never
air is so damn
experienced that.
dry.
Yeah, I've never experienced that personally, but it's my understanding that you need it to be really cold in addition to dry snow,
Right.
which is just where I grew up was not common. It was
Right.
very rare. We got a
Right.
dry, powdery snow where you could just, no, we got the stuff that if you picked it up, you could brain someone with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. The wetter, heavier snow.
Yep.
Interesting. Let's see what else we can banter about here. So again, that's my follow Friday. Let's jump into so we don't have any storms of any significance, but like a big time algorithm tripping storm, right? But the big story really is going to be this warm up that's coming.
Hmm.
And I got a couple of posts to share. This from Noah Berggren down there in the Orlando area. Warm to very warm. And that's going to be the pattern setting up through the next several days. So the January thaw, we're here. And Noah says, big pattern. Slow down, Sudduth. Big pattern flip starting mid next week, lasting through about January 11th. So let me just stop the presses right there. Many days ago, there was talk of a major storm system and maybe a big winter storm January
Right.
6th and 7th. Not happening. Interesting how quickly things can change. And I saw quite a few posts about that people were
Hmm.
And they were doing the whole 6-7 thing. God help us all. But no, not looking like that's going to happen. Notably warmer weather compared to average in the east, particularly in the Northeast, where it's been a popsicle of late. In
Yep.
Florida, I could see a few days 80 to 85 degrees in the January 9th through the 11th time frame.
Hmm.
All
Yep.
right, everybody head to Florida. And there's Aubrey. Talk about good. I'm coming to visit and I need some beach days. So Jen's coming down there. She's going to love this because she's leaving Ohio where it's been just
Yep.
miserably cold and snowy. But yeah, the warm up's coming. We can see it visualized here from this terrific map animation from Ben Knoll.
I love
These,
his stuff.
oh yeah, these are your lower atmospheric temperatures, and you can really get an idea of how the cold and everything moves, the heat at
Yep.
Vex. And yeah, it's coming. So here's what it looks like on the GFS. And usually I show you this, like the
Right.
surface map. But here I want to show you the anomaly. And let's go back to
Wow.
6Z. Thank you. So this is where we are, still anomalously. Let's see what color we should use. Black. We're anomalously cold here in the east right now,
Hmm.
warming up already out west of the east. That's a good way to put
Hmm.
it. But look, it's going to really start sliding to the east over the next few days, and bam. And some of these anomalies
Wow.
are
Some of those. Yeah.
12 to 14 Celsius. And this is way up at
Hmm.
5,000 feet, by the way.
Yeah.
850 millibar anomalies. But here's what's just interesting to me, CJ. I want you to watch what happens here in Canada. Normally, you
Hmm.
see the cold air spill south. Watch this. Look at this big chunk of warm air that comes south right there. What the
Yep.
heck? How does warm, anomalous air come out of the Northwest Territories? I mean, I
I-
understand it, but it just looks
Yeah.
weird. It
Hmm.
just shows you that the air mass, even though it could be cold,
Yep.
or even, and this is way out at hour 264,
Yep.
um, those temperature anomalies are 20 degrees above the average.
Yeah. Roughly. Yeah.
So it's
And
still
that's degrees
cold,
Celsius. That's not
right?
degrees Fahrenheit.
It's still cold, but
Hmm.
warmer than it should be. That's why it's called an anomaly.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. And so areas in the
Oof.
east are going to warm up pretty good. Still up, and this is exactly what Noah was showing there, Noah Berggren. You got your trough and then your ridge. Really
Hmm.
easy to just pick that out.
Yep.
So
100%. And, some of this stuff we're going to be looking next weekend. There's potential for some severe weather that I'm starting to see. So, talk about the rumors of storms. I don't know if it's still there. I didn't check the latest model runs, but I'm seeing some
look at the
stirrings
euro.
about it around the 10th. That's where we're looking.
So here's the 10th and 11th. So down south, is that what you mean right there? Because that's
Mm-mm.
a few thunderstorms in the warm
No,
sector. There's a
it must have
line right
disappeared.
there. Yeah, as they tend to do. As you see in the long
That or it's the
range.
GFS. Hold on.
Well, this is the euro here that I'm showing
No, I'm saying I think the one that I
where
sent
you
you was
saw it.
GFS.
Oh, so that was that other graphic. Let's just grab it real quick. Whoop. There we go.
This has to be the GFS.
There you go from Clint.
Yeah.
So yeah, the GFS
Yeah, so
model along with
GFS.
ensembles are showing the potential for a strong trough to move through the southern U.S. sometime between the 8th and 10th. Still far out enough that this could end up not occurring, but worth watching in the coming days. Specific details will be
Hmm.
ironed out with time.
Now
So
I
what are
can
we
tell
looking
you,
at,
Mark,
CJ?
if that was May,
Oh
we'd be
yeah,
talking major severe weather outbreak.
right.
And
And
I
that
mean,
will
it's
be
just, it's a
coming.
very potent trough. That's that trough you can see in the temperature gradients.
Right.
Um, it roughly matches up the same time. There's questions though that are going to remain. Do we get the moisture return? The Gulf is still really warm, but can it pull
Absolutely.
that moisture forward? And what does it do with it? Are we going to get enough daytime heating? It's really hard this time of year. As we
Right.
get into February, things actually become easier. That's why in years past we've had some intense February outbreaks, but it's not really until March where you get the sustained amount of daylight hours to get these more potent events like this. And I mean, I don't see it like you said, like you showed on the Euro. I don't see it there, but time will tell. I mean, oh, excuse me. Wow. but I mean, in this model, at least in this specific run, that's a pretty potent, severe weather or
The
moisture
setup is
return.
there. Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
setup could possibly be there.
I mean,
By
you're
the way, we
talking,
should have a new rule. Anytime you yawn on the show, you got to get up and do jumping jacks
yeah,
because it's a lack of oxygen. You're not tired. It's just we're just, yeah, it's a lack of
right.
oxygen. What I always tell people. Are you tired? No, it's the lack of oxygen. Calisthenics. So yeah, it'll be interesting to watch over the coming days to see if the severe weather um, manifests itself like the GFS is showing. Because on the Euro, we'll see. We shall see. And again,
Hmm.
the comments, nothing ever happens.
Right,
It's like, well, you don't want an F4 tornado going over you. So, take the nothing every time. Trust me.
right.
Trust. All right. Well, as we stall for time, waiting for Jen to get to her spot, I don't know. Let's think. What can we banter about? I talked about meeting with Eric the other day,
Yeah,
and
how did that go?
we discussed all kinds of ideas coming up for 26 that you and I have been discussing. So let's just kind of lay out a basic framework for some of our severe weather coverage that we're planning this coming spring. So people might remember that in 2024, I came up with this brilliant idea of trying to capture and study hail. Found plenty of it. That was not the problem. The problem was really finding the big stuff, and spent just terrific amounts of money doing so. And we're not
Hmm.
giving up on the hail, definitely not giving up, but we're going to kind of use some of our firepower, especially our aerial vehicles, to study more about how tornadoes form. And you remember several episodes back, I had that article I shared, or story, whatever it is, from NOAA and
Yep.
NSSL that they're going to be studying tornado genesis using drones, or as they refer to them as the UAS systems. And I think
Right.
that could be really interesting for the science, for the social science part, for
100%.
media interest and social media.
Yep.
So many people down at ground level, and there's nothing wrong with that. Very clear. We are not gatekeepers and judging anybody, but seeing it from the air, there is a reason that aerial photography in movies does so well when it does, and they
Hmm.
spend so much money on those shots. I think this
100%.
could be really interesting. And so we're going to be
Oh, yeah.
focusing our efforts on that as we get into the spring severe weather season. And so the plan is in very early May, I will take the Tacoma back out. And if we don't have any severe weather coming, fine, we'll do some testing in the plains of different platforms that we can use so that we can study how tornadoes do what they do from about 2 miles away. And while
Yep.
that seems like, well, we're not going to see anything, all I'm going to say is, yes, you will. Trust me. We're
Yeah, you
already
will.
working on it, and oh, I can't wait. Um, so I know CJ's excited about it because you have yet to see,
Very.
except the Plevna tornado, you haven't seen one during the daytime, right?
Not like that, no. I've seen a couple random, like in my lifetime, but
Right.
nothing firmly planted on the
Right.
ground, where it's, yeah.
Well, that changes. We're going to change that up this
Hmm.
year because we're going to actively go after the tornadic supercells. Um,
Right.
but what we're going to do too, folks, is bring you with us on a journey of how it works scientifically and meteorologically,
Hmm.
synoptically, mesoscale.
Yep.
And we're going to do
Exactly.
that with collective knowledge, right? It's going to be either
Exactly.
me and CJ, me, CJ, Greg, me, CJ, Greg, Jen. Maybe somebody, maybe Eric Webb could help out from time to time. I know he's going
That'd be
out at
great.
some point. And we want to bring you to that side of it, the forecasting side.
100%.
So the
And we
plan
also
is
want to
like,
show,
yeah, go ahead, please.
well, no, I was to say we also want to show, what's the culture like out there?
Right.
You see all these chasers interacting, and we've met great people out
Hmm.
there. And I'm very thankful for that. And I know you are too. And it really is almost, I hate to say it, it's almost like a brotherhood.
Yeah, it
For
is.
those of us that are weather weenies, if it's one of those, if right?
Exactly. And having some chances to stop and talk with some of those folks, get them on
Hmm.
the live shot, see what they're thinking. But it's interesting because there's that fine line where you don't
Hmm.
want to bother people, because
Right,
everybody's got a
exactly.
times, you know, constraint because we're all trying to get to the
Exactly.
next great supercell. But I envision, let's say we're in Wichita on X night, and the next day there's a moderate rift somewhere in central Kansas down into northern Oklahoma,
Hmm.
whatever. 10% tornado day coming up. All right. So we
Hatched.
get up that morning and we do a live, maybe talking weather, whatever, in a special edition. And we will
Hmm.
go over the meat of that program would be what is the setup, a true briefing. Then we pack everything up, and within an hour or two of that, we go live and we bring you with us. Now, we've been doing that since 2005. We were the first to ever start it. So that's nothing new. What's
Right.
going to be new, I think people are going to really latch on to, is how often we are talking about the setup.
Right.
So, really focusing in on a live laboratory classroom situation where CJ's meteorological knowledge, especially severe weather, Greg Nordstrom, arguably one of the best in the world at it.
100%.
What does it take to have a tornado form? And then we're going to show you that using aerial photography. And I'm just that's all I talk about lately. And I know we have the hurricane season coming, and that will overlap, and that's what our forte is. But I think studying tornado genesis, especially from the air, will lead to some better understanding. I really do. And if
I
anything, it'll
agree.
certainly inspire people because it's a different vantage point than ground
100%.
level and vehicle based cameras.
It is. And there's something, and I think, Mark, I think you're so excited about it, and I could be wrong, but we had talked about this in years past when we were out there, like what can we do?
Right.
Otherwise you're in the way. There
Right.
are so many people out there that are chasing, from our good friends Bryce Page, down to, like you said, with Pecos Hank. There are a bunch of people out there chasing. How do you differentiate yourself? And I do think that focusing in that regard, it gives us something to really be excited about because not many others are doing it. And I don't know
CJ,
if it's for lack of trying
right.
or just a maybe lack of access. I don't know.
Do you know how I can find on my Twitter? This is going to be a hard one. The Vernon, Texas supercell that we did get from the drone. It was April 21st, 2021 when Clemens was with me the first time he worked with me, and that supercell was coming up across the Brazos Valley in Texas. We were in
Right,
Childress having Arby's. It went
right.
tornado warned. Charles Peak was on it. I was like, we gotta go. We threw our Arby's in the trash and we drove
Mm-hmm.
over and went south. It was near Electra, and the drone was up for like 20 minutes, and that supercell was
Yes.
coming across, and that video went viral because you could see the supercell rotating
Right.
beautifully. I wonder how I can find that easily. Would it just because I know I posted it? Would that just be a Twitter advanced search? Do you think
It should be.
those dates?
Um,
Who finds it first? So I want to show that as an example of what we're talking about.
did you post it on YouTube by chance?
No, I was looking there. It's too short for YouTube.
Hmm.
Let's just take a second. Let's see. Advanced search. Me, my account. Da-da-da. Bear with us, folks. I'm going to find this. This is where we need somebody like Jamie on Joe Rogan's show. Hey, Jamie, can pull up that video of the. I don't do
Right.
it. We need a Jamie. What date? So that would be
I
April.
got it.
Oh, CJ for the win. All right. Post the link for me
I'm
in the
getting there. Hold
Discord
on.
and I'll fire it up.
I think this is it. It's April 27, 2021.
Bingo.
Yep.
Well done, sir.
I
All
just
right.
Google I just did the from hurricane track and supercell. It was the second thing that came up.
So that's it.
I got lucky. Yeah.
Uh,
I remember this. I remember this day. Just absolutely gorgeous. And this is what we want more of.
right. Right. That is
I
the
mean,
structure
just
of a supercell. This was totally accidental. I just thought it would look cool.
and it
All the
does.
different things that you can see in that. And, I want to do it on purpose now.
Hmm.
And that's a good, I don't know, 3 miles away,
Yeah.
maybe. And you can see everything clearly.
Mhm.
You don't have to be right on top of this stuff. and the
No.
weather's not
And
bad at all.
actually, depending on what you're looking for, like in my personally, I want to be able to just look up and see the whole thing. I want to
Right.
see the mothership with the tornado on the ground
Exactly.
because there is, even when we haven't gotten tornadoes, just to look up and see like that supercell we saw in Brady, Texas. That was by far and away one of the most beautiful storms I've ever seen
Yeah. Yeah.
because it was a mothership. You could see the wall cloud, you could see everything. So, or that one in Plains, Texas.
Really neat
Same
stuff here.
thing.
And so we'll be able to do this. We're going to be able to do it live. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we've been practicing here on the beaches and out at different parks, learning all about our drones, how they work, some of their limitations, and there's some secrets that we have unlocked that
Yep.
I'm just like, wow, I didn't know that they did that or whatever, and really exciting stuff. Um,
I think people are going to love this.
yeah,
I
and
really do.
a real treat to all the interests of severe weather will be covered. That's the thing. There's
Yep.
not one angle, so to speak. We're not
100%.
trying to zero meter or be the best or the first or whatever. We
Yep.
have an idea of how to show people the severe weather on the plains in a slightly different way. It's not
Right.
revolutionary. People
No,
have had
not at all.
drones for more than 10 years now, but I just think
Yep.
that adventure, the story, what does it take? ABC 123, bring really high trained meteorologists with us and let's do it
Yep.
and educate and learn at the same time. It's going to be terrific. So, looking
It
forward to
is.
that. All right, let me send a text to Jen. She's got to be getting close. And the answer is um, oh, first of all, Scott says, and CJ, if you can look at our YouTube chat, there's at least one question for you there.
Hmm.
So let me do
Okay.
that. Uh,
So let me see here. Do.
I forgot we do have those on our Discord too, privately, where there's just the YouTube chat. I got to remember that we have that. Our back
Mm-hmm.
end team has coded up some good stuff. I got to remember it's there.
Where are we at
We're
here?
looking for your questions. We love the questions.
So we did get a question from Per Insanity. Um, how long will the warm up last, at least for those in southern New England? Ew, I don't know.
Okay, let's see if
Um,
I can get this to
and
go
then
away.
could a southeast ridge with a neutral NAO and AO prevent the cold without snow pattern that I hate? This was all from Per Insanity.
Yeah, nobody likes that pattern. I hear you. So let's just
Yeah.
look at the GFS 6Z run and try to answer the temperature part. So let's go to the anomalies. Sorry. So the anomalies, remember the GFS runs out to 384 hours. So just on snapshot basis, we're not even looking at ensembles here. The deterministic from the 6Z run, this is 384 hours, and New England is still well above normal up here. In fact, it is the most above normal at 850 millibars, which means translated to the surface, those temperatures will be um, like not even below freezing, and that is at 1 o'clock in the morning when you're typically very, very cold. So, practically speaking, at least from a deterministic model perspective, just look at the freezing line, CJ. It stays tucked up pretty
Yeah.
much. There's a couple of bouts of cold, but nothing serious
No,
for the
nothing
next two
long,
weeks,
long.
right?
Yeah, nothing long standing. You guys are probably going to make it above freezing for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
At least it's in some way, shape, or form. It depends on what part of New England. Obviously, the closer to the St. Lawrence or the Canadian
right,
border, colder
right,
it's going to get. Further up, Maine, sorry, northern
right,
Maine, you guys
right.
know what's up. Um, but I mean, really, you're looking at that now. Um, Regarding the North Atlantic Oscillation, and I'm not sure what AO
The
stood for.
Arctic
Is that the
Oscillation.
Arctic? Okay, Arctic. I'm not too familiar with that.
Yeah, that's an
I
Eric
understand
Webb.
the NAO.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Eric
that's
Webb's
I
realm, big
understand
time.
what it kind of does, but to be completely honest with you, I mean, it looks like for the next couple of weeks at least, you're not going to be stuck in that cold, horrible, um, you know,
It's going to warm up.
pattern. Yeah, it should
Period.
warm up.
That's the thing. But yeah, that strange pattern where, like, even down here, it's been nice and cold, but we just
Hmm.
haven't had an impetus to get any kind of snow. And one thing that's going to be really a negative about this warm up, CJ,
Yeah.
is this is going to hurt the eastern ski resorts,
Yeah. Oh,
especially down in
100%.
southern Appalachia. I mean, North
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, it's they had Helene, which knocked us back from the
Mm-hmm.
flooding and the tourism damage that way, and the ski resorts in
Yeah.
near like Hawks Nest and Seven Devils, Sugar Beach, Sugar. It's not
Right.
looking good. In fact, I should
No.
probably start looking at that at least once a week as a segment. Ski weather, you
Yeah.
know, especially in the east, and snow removal companies. These are all economic hits that happen when there is not severe weather, and
Yep.
winter storms are severe weather. Interesting kind of perspective that the lack of snow can have economic impacts. Isn't that a weird
A
thing to think
hundred
of?
percent.
So, great questions. Thanks, Scott, for texting me and reminding me that we have questions out there. So, yeah, so per insanity, if you don't mind us asking, oh, I'm in the New York City area, right?
Yeah. Yep. NYC area. I have to agree, 25 to 40, especially in that area of the country, get that marine layer and it's cloudy and it's just blech. I agree.
Right.
At least give me some variety or some sunshine. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, just scrolling back through, seeing some of the comments and stuff. So we're close to the top of the hour. Let's see if our guest for today, all right, uh, are you close? Question mark. And it actually spelled out question mark. We need some waiting for Jen music.
Yeah, we do.
I could craft that up in a heartbeat. Um, that was pretty good though that you found that.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Good job there. And I think Kari put the graphic on there way back in
Yeah.
2021. So this one, just to continue this real quick, that supercell came over and Matt and I were literally underneath it, or would have been. Obviously, that's where the drone was launched from. So this eventually came over, and we set up one of our Nest cams on a fence post because I asked Matt. He would kind of laugh, I think, if he knew I was talking about this. He had his Tundra, fairly new Toyota Tundra, might have been even been a 21 Tundra,
Yeah.
and that was the first time he and I were working together.
Right.
And I asked
I
him, "What
remember
is
that.
your hail tolerance?"
Right.
What do you mean? Like, how big of a hailstone are you willing to deal with in your $70,000 truck? And he was like, 1 inch or less. Seriously. I was like, all right. So this thing was throwing out some huge hail, and we didn't want to be in that. It was tornado warned. And so we set up the Nest Cam, and I don't have the video of that handy. Oh, that was amazing. Um, and it came across the core of the supercell, went right over the cam. We streamed it live. Good hail, probably baseballs. Very strong wind, the flooding rains, and then the storm passed, and we drove back up whatever highway that was. We are only a couple miles south. I mean, all you gotta do is just get out of the
Hmm.
way, you know that.
Yep.
And um, it went past us. It was not very fast moving,
No.
and we were watching it, and it started to tighten up again. And it had a beautiful funnel. I think I've got this. Hang on, bear with me, folks. I think it's in the Hail Project Elements, maybe. Show you some of my folders on here. Is it on here? Maybe it's not.
Maybe.
I thought I had oh, there's your Brady Supercell, by the way, that you really liked. And here,
Hmm.
I'll show you guys this real quick while we're waiting for Jen. This is the video of a tornado that CJ and I caught. There it
Yep.
is. That was in Missouri, right?
Yeah. Skidmore, Missouri, off of
Skidmore.
I-24,
How'd you remember that?
I-29, because the name. Where else is there a Skidmore?
Right. There you go. But
Yeah.
so thinking about our drone idea, I wonder how far away do you think that was at the time?
Hmm.
Got to be more than 2 miles.
A couple of miles, maybe.
Right. So if you
We were
flew the drone
close.
halfway, terrible telestration, it would have looked spectacular. All right, I can shut up and let Jen in. She's made it.
Woohoo!
And bring her in.
Ladies and gentlemen, the woman of the hour.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
We can hear
ma'am.
you just fine. And
Fabulous.
please tell me that you're on your way to Florida and you didn't drive 3.5 hours just for this.
I am on my way to Florida. I'm
Thank goodness.
hoping, yes, I'm hoping I can switch this screen. This thing is not working.
No,
But yeah, I'm on my
everything,
way to Florida.
all the computer
Awesome.
technology is being a butthole today.
I know
Mine some
it's
days.
yeah, it's very weird. But no, I am on my way to Florida and I am here. It's
Bucky's.
ne it is
All right.
never too early for brisket. Chopped
No,
You
it's
know
brisket
what?
not.
sandwich.
You can
Calling my name.
smell, you can smell exactly what that smells
Hmm.
like through the computer.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Bucky's
absolutely.
literally has a smell. They should
Hmm.
bottle it and sell it.
Oh.
No, it has been crazy this morning. I got up, got with it. I am packed to the gills here. I am on my way to Florida. I take a couple of days to get down here and get with it.
Hmm.
Right.
And so I'll be stopping later today in Chattanooga. But right now I'm in Richmond, Kentucky
Oh,
at the
wow.
Bucky's.
There you go. I
And
didn't know they had one.
yep. They have one near Bowling Green. So if you're going 65, you'll hit it, or if you're going 75, you'll hit the
Right.
one here in Richmond. So that's where I'm at.
Hmm.
Well,
And
let me jump in real quick, Jen, for people
yeah,
that have no, why are we talking to this homeless lady in her car? Well, there is a reason. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jen Naramore of Tornado Talk and Weather Brains fame, amongst all sorts of other stuff. She does radio weather as well. Is that a good way to put that?
yep,
And
yep.
working on a big project to study tornado history. And so we have a segment each week. We want to check in with Jen because she is homeless, but on purpose. She is a nomad Jen, and she will be going all around the country over the coming months and years, hopefully, as the support is there, to learn more about how tornadoes have impacted our society. So that is why she is here, and she can tell us more. Of course, she disappeared for a second. Maybe she's coming back.
I am coming
There
back.
you are. And so that's why she is in the Bucky's parking lot talking to us.
That's
So what's on
right.
your mind today? What tornado factoid? What's your goal? Like, where are we? I did have a tornado talk tweet pulled up today, and it was the correct one. Let's see if I can find it right there. It was from yesterday. The Noxubee County, Mississippi EF3 was yesterday. That was in 2011, kind
Hmm.
of a harbinger of what was to come. What
Yeah.
about today, Jen? And what's happening? What's up in your world?
All right. So I did do a little bit of research about this area. Now, I've been to Richmond, Kentucky before, and I came in 2023 with one of my writers and researchers, Nelson Tucker, and I took him on a spring break and we visited places in Kentucky, Indiana, and did research for the April 3rd, 1974 super outbreak. So that did bring us to the Richmond area and Winchester because there was a tornado that occurred in this area on April 3rd, 1974, and it's the most damaging and deadly tornado that actually occurred in this area. So I am going to look at my phone. Hopefully, you can still hear me speak as I pull up my notes. So Madison County, Kentucky, that's where I'm at right now. And April 3rd, 1974, it was an F4. 7 fatalities. It moved to the northeast near the Hackley area, Cottonburg. It moved just north of Richmond and lifted east of Mount Sterling. 30 homes destroyed by this F4. And the deaths were in the southwestern part of Madison County, mostly near the Richmond area. And about 100 people were left further northeast in Clark County. Some sources do take this tornado into Montgomery County. The last, though, deadly tornado that occurred in this area was in May 8th of 2009, and it was an EF3. There were 2 fatalities that occurred during that time. There were 2 other significant tornadoes that have occurred in this area. March 4th, 1955, an F3, and March 24th, 1921, there was an F3 and 5 injuries. And there have been 20 tornado events total in Madison County. So I just wanted to do a little bit of some
Yeah.
chatting about the
Interesting.
history of this area. We gathered quite a bit from the libraries and historical societies from this area, especially over toward Winchester. And we have all that archived. We'll be able to add the 7 fatalities and then hopefully the other 2 to our
Right.
virtual tornado memorial. And that is the goal with all the research that we do. And so I thought this would just be a good spot. Of course, I'm at the Buc-ee's with hundreds of my other friends
Sure.
as they stop and get gas and get brisket and,
Beaver
you
nuggets
know, beaver
and,
nuggets.
and
That's
fudge.
right.
Yes.
They have awesome coffee here too.
Yes,
Yes.
they do.
Yes, they
It's an
do.
amazing little place. And so I thought, well, I'm going to stop and I did just a quick, look at what happened. I do want to mention, Mark, if folks are interested in learning more about what I'm doing about the memorial, I just did a huge overhaul of our Patreon page. It's really focused in now on the virtual tornado memorial. And I just launched a new blog that can be accessed if you join Patreon for free. You can get that, or if you're a paid person too, you can get it, but it's Naramore the Nomad.
Yeah.
And I just launched it, and it's just to kind of take people through what I'm doing. And in fact, I'm probably going to do a quick video when I get off here and tell people where I'm
Awesome.
at, and just let the Patreon people know, hey, I'm on the road. I'm ready
Right.
to get down to Florida. I'm meeting with CJ next week, right?
Yeah. At some point we gotta hammer out exactly when, but yeah.
Yep, we're going to try to get together and we're going to talk about doing research on that 1966 event. And
Right.
I'll be
Mhm.
meeting with a few other folks. And then I'm leaning toward, and here's the thing, I don't know for sure where I'll be in early February. I'm kind of still winging it.
Right.
I'm leaning toward South Georgia. So I really want to kind of
Interesting.
get my bearings on that. There have been a lot of tornadoes there.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I'm going to go southwest part or over maybe out towards Savannah
Right.
and kind of. So the goal with this is I go to a place and then I can stay there for a few weeks and I can cover different areas, gather all the research. I'd like to call and see, are there survivors that I can
Right.
talk to? Are there historians that we can interview?
Sure.
And just gather all these, nuggets of information and turn that into this virtual memorial experience on our website where people can go down the path and they can learn about the different events
And the
and really
beauty
kind of
of it
build
is
upon what we're doing.
once you've done it, it's there. That's what's
Yep.
so nice
Yes.
about this. You've planted that flag and it stays there. The internet is forever, as they say. And so just great work. It really is. Do you have, so
Thank
in
you.
1984, Eastern North Carolina we had a pretty significant outbreak, especially in the Greenville area. Have you already done that outbreak and any of those tornadoes yet? So that would
I have,
eventually be, you're going to be in my neck of the woods eventually, it looks like.
yes, yes. No, I have not covered that. So that would be great.
There's
Make my
so
way.
many. That's the thing. We were talking about it
Yeah.
recently, but, that
Yep.
you'll never be done.
No.
No.
You're
I
gonna have to
mean,
hand this off to younger generations at some point.
I know. I wonder if I know anybody who likes history. Wait, CJ's on the
Right.
horn here. And of course, my buddy Zach Reichel is my partner in this project. He has a
Love it.
full-time job. He's a GIS analyst, but he comes home and he is dedicated to helping me stay
Right.
organized. He is a great guy and has the same heart that I do for finding the names of the people that have died in these tornadoes. And we've estimated 22,000 people. And I still think that's on the low end side. There are
Sure.
so many tornadoes that either
Mhm.
we don't know about or
Yeah.
they've underestimated the death toll
Right.
and we need to do some digging. So this is the big year to really kind of get this going
Yeah.
and see what happens.
Yeah. We're
Last
here.
year
We're
we
in
just
26. That's right.
we're
This
in
is the year.
26. I
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's happened so fast.
And
And
you're going to see your first tornado this year along with CJ on the ground. Jen's going to join us at some point, probably in May. We're going to figure all of this stuff out. We're going to have a great
I
crew
love it.
between CJ, myself, Greg Nordstrom, Jen, Eric
right.
Webb, I said, is going to be out there because tornadoes are more than just this fascinating draw that trips the algorithm and everybody tunes in to Reed Timmer or somebody else on YouTube. Again, nothing wrong with
Yep.
that. But we want to go
Mhm.
beyond all of that and show the bigger community. And that's why Jen's work here of this historical part of it, especially the deaths, that those people are not
Mhm.
forgotten because, when you're killed by a tornado, that is a force of nature that I can't even imagine. I used to have nightmares
Mhm.
about tornadoes. For whatever reason, they've ceased. Great. Maybe I'm old enough now to realize I don't have to worry about them too much, and I have warnings. I don't know, but anyway, they are um, almost like a supernatural force. And so, for somebody to
Mhm.
dedicate the resources that you are crowdfunded, no less, right? And
Yeah.
crowdsourced, literally. Uh,
Yeah.
great, and I'm happy for you. It's good to see it off
Thank
and
you.
running.
Yeah, we're crowdsourced by Patreon, but I'll tell you, if I pretty much support myself.
Sure.
That's
If
awesome.
I do my radio job, the equipment's thrown back here. I can pull the microphone out and I could do
Right.
a live right now if I needed to, or do a recorded. But I do that from the road. So from any Airbnb or hotel, I can do my radio gig, and I have a lot of support from my boss on that, and he
That's
loves what
awesome.
we're doing, so that helps
Great.
greatly. And I've done it for so long, and know what I'm doing, and just can crank those forecasts out. But
Right.
that's the big thing. But my goal is to see that is see the crowdsourcing increase as much as we
Right.
can, and
Hmm.
try to get more Patreon people to, because if people don't know what we're doing, then why are we doing it? I want people to know about the
Right.
memorial
Right.
and to understand that it's important, and understand my heart with it. I can't express how passionate I am about this project. CJ was part of our
100%.
year-end Zoom call with Patreon, and I think
Yep.
he probably saw quite a bit my heart with that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
much support from our Patreon people, and Mark,
Yeah.
we have people on Patreon that they're with us for life. They love what we do.
Exactly.
They support you, and
In
they're
so
Hmm.
really
many ways
passionate.
too.
Yeah,
That's how I
they're
met
passionate
CJ.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
CJ,
how I met you
yeah,
guys. It is, the
Clemens,
community
everybody.
that's out there is just amazing.
It
And
is.
that is one thing I've learned, being able to take a peer into it, especially from both of y'all's sides now, seeing how everything kind of coalesces. There is a great community out there. And Jen, you're doing, I think, a huge service for not just the community, but for the countless people that are surviving the victims of this.
Right. Right.
Maybe
The
some of
after
them
the
can
after.
finally get closure to an
Yes.
extent. I know that you
Yes.
never really do, but
It's
to
a
make sure
step
that their
though.
loved ones are
Right.
remembered.
That's
Right.
right.
Respectfully,
Yes.
That's
not
right.
objectified in some weird way.
Hmm.
Exactly. This is a very good project, and I know how happy you are to really get in it in earnest. Are you glad you're leaving the snowy, crappy winter weather-wise? I know you're leaving your mom's farm or whatever, but
Yeah.
Ohio's kind of stunk so far this year weather-wise, and you're headed to sunnier climes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in fact, it's already great here. It's 38 here, which is amazing. About almost 15 degrees warmer than where I just came from. But yeah, I
Oof.
will miss my family. I miss my mom greatly. She is my biggest supporter, and I appreciate her, and just supporting me being on the road, and encouraging me to
Right.
do this, because it's a passion for me. I think it's a way for me to serve. I think it's where God has me being, and to do
Right.
this in this point in my life. And I really want to do this. And so, but yeah, I don't. I was kind of over the snow and the cold, and ready to
So
head
many
further south.
people so far.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
they are.
I got a lot to do to get focused. I've got a lot of tornadoes to look up. I got databases to fill, and I got to get ready for May. Hey, if we're going to be out in the
Yeah.
Right.
plains, I got
Right.
to make sure I know these events, all over the
Yep.
place, and be able to
Right. And
pull
that's
those
the other
up. And
part, folks. Having Jen come along, even for a few days, everywhere we go is going to have tornado history baked
Yep.
in. And to
that's right.
have that kind of perspective, oh, I cannot wait. I'm telling you, people, it's
It's gonna be
coming. We're
great.
going to be doing a lot. We're going to be doing a
Yep.
lot. I got to
Yep.
talk to I'll send a note to my friends at Fox Weather, have you on for a segment sometime, either in the
Oh,
afternoon or nighttime, where they go longer with Ari Sarsalari. You would be perfect.
Yeah.
Tell
a
them
oh,
hundred
I didn't think
percent.
of this sooner. So
wow.
I'll send
Thank
a
you,
note
Mark.
to Jordan and company. All
Thank
right.
you. Oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Any other thoughts
Well, I
before we
appreciate
roll
being on
things
your
up
show.
today?
No, just thank you for this opportunity to share with you every week.
I like to know where you are and make sure you got there safely. But
Yeah.
yeah, Kentucky,
Yes.
it's the Buckies.
I was looking at that time. I'm like, oh man, he's probably stalling. I need to get pull it in the Bucky's parking lot. And
Love it.
so here I am, and I'm excited to go get some coffee, and
Yeah.
grab me a sandwich, get some gas, and get ready to keep heading south. And but yeah, it's been great to talk to you, and I just appreciate you and what you do and your work. And CJ, I'm looking forward to seeing you
Absolutely.
in
Likewise.
hopefully next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you
Absolutely. We'll
guys
get
so much.
Cool stuff. Well,
awesome.
safe travels and we'll check in with you next week. See where you are.
Godspeed. Be safe coming down.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See ya. Say hi to Bucky for me.
I
Send
will.
him our love. All right. So Jen Naramore, everybody. What a neat
Awesome.
person to know, and to think that
A hundred
we're going to be
percent.
getting to ride along and learn about tornado history with
Oh,
her
I can't
while
wait.
we're out there, wherever there may be. May,
Yeah,
and
yep,
again, I know we're hurricane track, and that's the Super Bowl.
yep,
This
right.
is the playoffs. You know what I mean? Severe
Mm-hmm.
weather, and we learned so much in that. As we wrap up today's show, a big reason why I like to cover other weather, besides the fact that I'm a weather geek at heart, no lie,
Right.
it's just fascinating, is that we get to test, try things, learn things during live fire events that are not a hurricane. And then we employ all of that testing, all of that work in winter storms, even going out into the monsoon in the Southwest. We know how stuff can run in rugged, crazy conditions. I can test in my backyard, my garage all day long. But when we do this stuff out in the field, and then we have your next Ian, your next
Right.
Michael, your next Ida, your next Katrina, your Harvey, you go name it, we are then that much better prepared. So it's
Exactly.
all roads lead to the hurricanes through. That's why it's called the Hurricane Highway
A
of the
hundred
severe
percent.
weather world. Exactly. So, very exciting things coming up as the year progresses. The weekend I take off so that we make sure we have great family time. CJ is probably back to work next week as well, so most of the shows will
Mm-hmm.
just be me solo, which is fine. And I'll probably get a guest or two as well. Then we'll check in with CJ when he's available, and we'll start
Yep,
again on Monday. So CJ, have a great
absolutely.
weekend.
Thanks, you as
Everybody
well.
on the
Thanks.
YouTubes, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. From
Thanks,
Wilmington,
everybody.
North Carolina, I am Mark Sudduth for Hurricane Track and our awesome community, bidding you a wonderful weekend.